Ever wondered what blooms in the shade while your sunny garden steals all the attention? These perennials will light up your shady corners, and some bloom like magic. Let's start with a superstar, Astilbe. If you've ever seen those feathery plumes in pink, white, or red swaying in a woodland garden, you already know its charm. This plant thrives in full to partial shade and actually prefers moist, rich soil. What makes Astilbe a must-have? It's deer-resistant, pollinator-friendly, and it doesn't mind damp spots. Even after flowering, its foliage remains lush and elegant, adding texture to shady beds. Plant it near hostas or ferns for a layered shade garden look. Astilbe comes in dwarf to tall varieties, so there's one for every shady corner. Hellebores, also known as Lenten roses, are the rebels of the perennial world. Why? Because they bloom in late winter to early spring, when everything else is still sleeping. Their nodding blooms come in whites, purples, greens, and even near black shades, adding drama under trees or in north-facing beds. And best of all, they're evergreen in many climates. They're also drought-tolerant once established and don't mind dry shade, making them excellent for tough spots where not much else thrives. Nothing says romance in the garden like the bleeding heart. Its delicate heart-shaped flowers dangle from graceful arching stems, giving off vintage fairy tale vibes. These plants love cool, shady areas, especially under deciduous trees where they get spring sun and summer shade. In warmer zones, they may go dormant in midsummer, but they'll be back next year, stronger. Pair them with ferns or Brunnera for a lovely woodland effect. They're easy, low maintenance, and absolutely unforgettable when in bloom. Looking for a foliage star that also flowers? Meet Brunnera, also called false forget-me-not. It's prized for its silvery, heart-shaped leaves, like having little moonbeams in your garden. In spring, it blooms with sprays of tiny blue flowers that resemble forget-me-nots, adding a delicate charm. It's a ground-hugging plant that slowly spreads into beautiful clumps. Perfect for edging shady paths or filling under trees, Brunnera also plays well with hostas and lungworts for a textural masterpiece. Despite the unattractive name, lungwort is gorgeous. Its speckled leaves and early spring blooms make it a staple in many shade gardens. It flowers in shades of pink, blue, and violet, sometimes all at once on the same plant. Pollinators love it, especially when there's not much else blooming yet. Lungwort prefers cool, moist shade and will reward you with low-growing beauty and dense foliage that smothers weeds. Hakonakloa, or Japanese forest grass, is like a soft waterfall of chartreuse foliage. It flows, it moves, and it makes everything around it feel more peaceful. While it doesn't flower prominently, its foliage is the real attraction. It turns a lovely golden or even reddish hue in fall, extending seasonal interest. Use it in shade containers, along pathways, or at the base of trees for a calm, zen vibe that whispers elegance. With its graceful arching stems and dangling white bell flowers, Solomon's seal adds quiet sophistication to any shade garden. In spring, those little blooms sway gently like hidden treasures, followed by blue-black berries in fall. Even the stems have a touch of burgundy, subtle but stunning. It spreads gently over time, perfect for naturalistic plantings, and pairs well with other woodland perennials like ferns and hellebores. If you want something exotic for your shade garden, toad lily is your hidden gem. Its orchid-like flowers appear in late summer to fall, just when many other plants are winding down. Each blossom is speckled and intricate, often in purples and whites, perched like jewels along upright stems. They absolutely love partial to full shade and consistent moisture. Plant them near walkways or patios so you can admire their detail up close. They're late bloomers and totally worth the wait. Bugbane is tall, dramatic, and fragrant. Its bottlebrush flower spikes rise up like white wands above dark foliage in late summer. It's perfect for the back of shady borders where you want height and movement. The dark leaves contrast beautifully with lighter shade plants. Plus, the scent is sweet, sometimes compared to vanilla, and attracts pollinators even in low light. Last but not least, the charming foamflower. This low-growing native plant forms a soft carpet with delicate, foamy blooms in spring. Its leaves are deeply cut and often feature dark veining, offering year-round interest. Great for mass planting under trees or along shady borders. Foamflower is a pollinator favorite, thrives in part to full shade, and spreads slowly without becoming invasive. Shady gardens don't have to be dull. In fact, they might be the most enchanting part of your landscape. Whether you're looking for color, texture, or year-round charm, these perennials deliver the magic. Tell me in the comments, which one's your favorite? Or do you already grow one of these beauties? Hit like if you learned something new, and subscribe for more garden joy every week.